Bring my lead arm to 9 o'clock right here and drop it on the ball. I want to make sure, Steve Stricker-ish too, where I don't set the club very much. So I'm back and through. And that's all I'm trying to do.
Milwaukee's own Skip Kendall.
Skip Kendall.
Skip Kendall is 5 under today.
At the 9th. Chips in for birdie. He's tied for 3rd, 2 shots off the lead.
Hi, today is all going to be about wedge play. I'm actually so excited. I'm just coming off of, an injury that I've had for a long period of time, and so I haven't been able to hit any full shots, even wedges or anything. So really excited. This is one of my first days, so bear with me on that. But I'm going to show you a lot of stuff with wedge play today, stuff that I used to do when I was practicing, really practicing hard, and also how I train people now. I want you to be good wedge players, and so these are going to be some of the things that I do to not only help myself, but train people and help them become better wedge players. So here we go, let's get started. So one of the first things that I want to do is, get these motor skills down. And I think, I learned this, I was at a teaching summit last fall. This guy from Minneapolis speak, his name was Dr. Luke Bonet. And it was kind of brilliant at first, because what he was talking about was, really making swings without actually hitting shots. Really getting the motor pattern down to, what you need to do before you actually start hitting the shot. So one of the things that he did was he got these almost like wiffle balls. They don't fly anywhere. I mean, I can maybe hit this at best 20 yards. They're gonna be all over the place. The thing is, you don't really pay attention to where the ball goes. That's the idea. It doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is actually make the golf swing that you want to make, learn the motor pattern, and you're actually hitting something though, which is what you want to do. You want to feel like you're hitting something, even though the ball's going to go all over the place. You're not becoming result oriented. You're just working on the motor pattern. So the first thing I do is we're going to put an alignment rod down. Obviously I'm hitting the ball this way. I've got my towel set up, but I'm not hitting a real ball, so it doesn't matter where the ball goes. I'm just working on making sure that I make the swing that I want to make. And there's several things that I do to do this. I know a lot of people have actually asked on YouTube, well, I did a wedge video on how I hit wedges certain distances. Well, how do you do that? Well, I do it by sliding my hands up and down the grip, yes, but how do you actually make the swing? So here's going to be how I train, how I used to train, and how I train people today. I got this, again, last fall from Luke up in Minneapolis, and I thought this was brilliant, because all I'm trying to do here is bring my lead arm to 9 o'clock right here and drop it on the ball. But there's a little bit more to it than that. I want to make sure that I come down shallow, and I don't take a big divot at all, if any. I'm going to clip the ball off the ground, and I'm going to make sure I have that really nice contact. So one of the things that I do is I want to make sure that I'm more rotational than I get handsy. So this is it. You can use a towel. It doesn't really matter. I put these underneath my arms, kind of like that. And basically it just keeps my arms in. This one needs to come out a little bit more. And all I'm going to do is make swings to where I feel way more rotational. And now, again, I am hitting a ball that doesn't fly right. It doesn't even matter where the ball goes. That's the most important thing. The thing that you're doing is you're making the swing. You're actually hitting something though. Let me make this go around here in the back so I don't hit the... There we go. Here we go. Not sure if you can see that. These are pink balls. It's probably flying 15 yards. That's it. I mean, I can't hit it any further than that, what I'm doing. Carlos, come over here one time. Get me face on here. I just want to show the people kind of what I'm working on. All I'm trying to do, and also I have a perfect grip on my, to make sure that I have a perfect grip every time too. I love putting that on there to make sure that my hands are in the right place. So I'm here, and all I'm trying to do, bring my lead arm to 9 o'clock. Now I don't want this, because I don't want, that's the old Lee Trevino here. I want to make sure, Steve Stricker-ish too, where I don't set the club very much. I'm just trying to use my body. That's all I'm trying to do. Now, One of the things that I'll do too is, I know I'm going to start looking like Tin Cup here, but this is kind of a lot of the stuff that I want you to do to make sure you understand, the motor pattern. So here I am. I'm going to put a half a tennis ball underneath my lead foot, because when I go down, I want to make sure that I move laterally with my body. I want to put pressure on that tennis ball as I go down. So now when I've done that a few times, again, I'm still hitting the wiffle ball. I'm going to take that off. I'm here. I want to make sure I move laterally, so I shallow that club. Much better. Another of the things I saw, a friend of mine, Maggie Simons, she's in the Golf Freedom Formula program that we were all in. Same kind of thing. If you're too steep on it, one of the things that you want to do is make sure you put a stick in there. If you come too steep on it, you're going to crash into that rod. So you want to make sure you get underneath that, even going back like that. I don't want to hit it going back either. So here we are. And that's all I'm trying to do. And now you can keep the tennis ball under there if you want, put pressure on that lead foot. This is all going to help you get that motor pattern down. Once you feel good, now you can start hitting some real balls. Let's go into that. Now we've kind of gone over working on the motor skills of what I want you to do for hitting a wedge shot, just really nice and smooth. One of the things that I also want you to do is, I had a guy ask me about rhythm and if that changes. I would say no. I want you to use the same rhythm for these wedge shots. Unless you're somebody that practices constantly and has no problem understanding what that does to your shot. Obviously, the faster the rhythm, the further the ball's going to go. If you slow it down, obviously it won't go as fast. It won't go as far. So what I'm trying to do and make it simple is use the same rhythm every time. I'm going to change my system. I'm going to do something different to hit a shot a different distance, but I'm going to try to keep the same rhythm. One of the things I do is I use a metronome a lot, not only for putting, but I'll use it for wedge play. Now for putting, I usually have it set on 76. A little different hitting a wedge shot. I have to come down a little bit. It's on 70 for me. You have to figure out what's going to work best for you. So again, if I'm hitting a shot, a wedge shot, no matter how far I hit it, I want the ball to go a certain distance, but I'm going to use the same rhythm. So I'm back and through. Hopefully you can hear the metronome. It's going to be to the beat, 1, 2.
Carry is 50.5 yards.
So I was trying to hit that 50 yards. That was pretty good. I don't know if you heard it, but it was 50.5. But I don't want to change my rhythm for these shots. I want to use the same rhythm. So here I am, I'm going to go 30. Now for me, I'm going all the way to the bottom of the grip, lead arm to 9 o'clock.
Carry is 32.6 yards.
Almost 32 yards. I'm not bad. I'm always trying to get it, no matter what distance I go, within 2 yards. When I was playing really well, that was always my goal. All right. I also want to tell you about, so we talked about rhythm, having the same rhythm every time, and I guess unless you're somebody that practices. So here's what I'm going to show you. The one thing that I do want to show you is, let's say I bring the club back to 9 o'clock, but I speed my rhythm up. Watch how far the ball goes. So this is for somebody, especially if you are, got that adrenaline flowing. I can speed everything up.
Carry is 67.1 yards.
That went 67 yards, 17 yards further than where I would want the ball to go. But all I did was really speed my rhythm up. Again, my rhythm is on the beat. You can hear that metronome. I'm 2 inches up for 50. 1, 2.
Carry is 47.4 yards.
47.4, not too bad, it's pretty close. I'm Skip Kendall. I've played the PGA Tour for almost 20 years. and now the Champions Tour for almost 10. I've been a professional for almost 40 years, and I've teed it up with some of the world's best players. If you're serious about taking your game to the next level, I want to share my wisdom with you. So click the link below, send me a message, and let's get started to make you the best player that you can possibly be.